Would you look at the state of you? Soaked to the bone, aren't you? You got caught in that rain for quite a while, it looks like. You must have been quite a far ways from home to have gotten so wet on your way back. That's all right, darling. Why don't you take a seat by the fire? We'll get you all warmed up and dried off. Then you can tell me what you were doing so far away. It's all right, dear. Why don't you just have a seat? I'll go get some towels and some other things. Let's see. Yes, that'll do nice. Why don't you take off your cloak, darling? No need having that wet thing on anymore. Not really doing much good anymore, is it? There we go. Alright. Goodness, what a state. That's alright, love. If you wouldn't mind, I think let's perhaps start drying off your hair a bit, eh? It'll help you feel a bit warmer when your hair is not dripping wet. Alright, yeah. Let me just start off drying some of this a bit. There we go. So, where were you when the rain started? Why, that's halfway to Brie. What were you doing all the way over there? Ah, your quest to find the perfect wild mushrooms continues, eh? Well, that is a noble endeavour, to be sure. But perhaps not a wonderful thing to wander so far from home when the clouds have been so heavy all day. It's alright. We'll get you all dried off here. Alright, I'm just going to put this on top of your head, okay? There. That's it. Get your hair nice and dried off there. There we go. Hopefully that fire will warm you up soon too. It's not that I mind you looking for mushrooms. They're always a wonderful addition to soups. Any dish really. You can't go wrong with a good mushroom when prepared correctly. Especially with some good taters from the garden. But maybe not on a date when we were expecting, right? At least not looking so far. Is the meadow not good enough for you? You want to try new things, of course, of course. I suppose that's understandable. Maybe we'll just have to start growing some of our own this year when the spring comes, eh? Well, it's still a bit cold for now, but fairly soon I'm going to start our seedlings indoors. We'll just put them in our little pots, place them by the windowsill in the kitchen, so they'll still get sun but be nice and warm inside, okay? And then, once it warms up a bit, then we can plant them in the garden. I think we'll have a wonderful harvest this year. Alright, let's get your clothes here a little bit too, shall we? Here. Just squeeze out some of that extra water there. We need to go get another towel. Being so far from home, it starts raining. Well, if you would like, I was thinking of starting those seedlings tomorrow. I understand if the pursuit of mushrooms is more important, but if you could spare some time for me, perhaps we could start some seeds together. Well, of course, we'll do all of the standard seeds that we always do. The tomatoes, the big juicy ones that are best for sauces, and then the little cherry tomatoes as well, best for just snacking. We're adding into a nice vegetable salad. We'll do some snap peas again. Would you like sweet peas as well? Yes, I do have some seeds from last year. We could do snap peas and some sweet peas. These are lovely to just munch on as well. And of course wonderful to cook. But there's something about just picking something from your own garden that your own hands grew. Being able to eat it fresh. And of course we'll do our fair share of cabbage, lettuce, maybe some spinach. Never know. Radishes. Radishes first. Yes, I know you love the radishes. Shall we do some carrots as well? They take a bit more space. You know, a tomato plant, it just grows vertical. Carrots, you've got to have the space horizontally. But I think there might be a space right under the ledge by the kitchen. That would be excellent. There's some carrots. And of course our potatoes. You cannot have a garden without potatoes growing. What else would you like to plant this year? Pumpkins, cucumbers, maybe some butternut squash. That's a good one. We haven't done that one for a few years. That would be nice. To rotate the crops, of course. So that the soil has time to breathe. That would be a good one to do. Should we do any peppers this year? Of course. Wonderful to add some flavour. Quite good for you as well. Of course, we'll still have the flowers. Got to have something to add some colour. And of course they're wonderful for the bees. They have a little book side there. We'll have some daisies, some marigolds, snapdragons maybe if you like. Of course. We'll have some shastas. What other flowers should we do? Azaleas, maybe. Of course, some roses. Ah, yes, of course. Those are beautiful. Well, yes, of course, we'll do the chrysanthemums in the fall. Those bloom beautifully in the autumn. We've already got our tulips planted, of course, and the crocus. The bulbs that we plant and let sit dormant over the winter. Those should start coming up pretty soon too. I think I'll have a beautiful garden this year. Alright, well, you're definitely looking drier now. Would you like me to brush out your hair a bit? It does look like it's gotten a bit tangled. All the wind outside. Here, got my comb here. I'll just do a bit of a brushing. Alright, there we go. Just brush out these locks there. Just to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. There, and maybe after this I'll get you a nice cup of tea. I guess we could do ale, but perhaps a nice warm cup of tea would work a bit better first. I wouldn't want you to be getting sick from being out in the cold and being so wet. Maybe just a nice herbal tea, and then we'll break out the ale. Well, we could do chamomile, of course. Or there's some lovely lavender tea left. That's another one. Definitely need to grow lavender this year. Not sure that old farmer Magda is going to do lavender this year, so we'll have to make sure that we have some of that. We can harvest and dry it for our teas, of course. There. You know, I think instead of the comb, we're going to need the big brush. It's alright. Yeah. I'll just get this one. Just make sure that your hair is nicely brushed out so it doesn't get all tangly when it's dry. Alright. Just hold still, darling. Brush. There we go. There we are. That's kind of a bit better. You know, it's bigger, but it's also just the softer bristles. Makes it a little easier for brushing out the finer tangles of the comb getting stuck. There we go. I'll just make sure you're nice and comfortable. What else do you think we should plant this year? Oh, we haven't had that in a while. That would be quite fun too, wouldn't it? You know, I was thinking about getting some big sunflowers too this year. I know we do sunflowers rather regularly, but they can be a bit persnickety to grow. But last year, azaleas were so beautiful. She had the whole talk of the whole neighbourhood talking about how lovely the sunflowers by her front door were. So maybe this year we'll try sunflowers again. Again, they do take up quite a bit of space, but at least you get to have the seeds from them after. Alright. Plant some sunflowers. Maybe I'll even swallow my pride and ask Azalea for some pointers. Maybe. We'll try them on our own first. I think since we've taken a few years off of them, the soil has rested a bit. Should be able to handle sunflowers again. There. I think that's looking a bit better. Does that feel better? Does it feel like there's any sort of tangles in there? Yeah. Use your fingers. Good, good. Now, how about that lavender tea, eh? Yes, yes, then you may have some ale. But I think it would be best to have something to warm the spirit a bit. I guess ale sort of does that too. But I would feel better if you started with some tea. Alright, let me go get that for you. warm your soul a bit. And hopefully soothe that racing mind a bit too. I can see it in your eyes, you're still chasing those mushrooms. Well, perhaps you'll have dreams of mushrooms tonight. And tomorrow, if you would like, you can certainly help with our seedlings. So let's see, what did we say? We said tomatoes, of course. The larger tomatoes, the cherry tomatoes, some bell peppers maybe, cabbage, lettuce, snap peas, sweet peas. What else did we say? Carrots, that's right. Gonna do carrots again this year. Of course, taters. Gotta have your taters. And then for flowers, we'll do snapdragons, daisies, roses, of course, azaleas. Wouldn't it be wonderful if our azaleas looked better than azaleas? Probably not anytime soon. She does have quite a knack for growing flowers. Although our vegetables usually put ours to shame. Ah, pumpkin. That was another one we were going to do, right? Some butternut squash this year. Or would you rather have acorn squash? We maybe don't have space for both, so butternut squash or acorn squash. Alright. Sounds good. Cucumbers. Those are always lovely too. A nice spring salad. Oh, couldn't never forget the radishes. You know how much you love those. Got to do the radishes. There we are. Alright. I think that's a pretty good list. For now, anyway. I feel like there's something else we talked about. Ah, yes, you're right. Can't forget that, can you? There we are. How's your tea? Good, good. I think that would be nice to have some nice, lovely herbal tea to help warm you up. With the fire and with being fully dried off, and with that lovely lavender tea. Hopefully you'll be feeling much more calm and comfortable now. Maybe that'll teach you to be so far away from home on a day when it's supposed to rain. Oh, it doesn't bother me none. I've been snug as a bug all day. But wouldn't want you catching any sort of cold or anything like that from being out in the rain. Alright. Okay. Yes, I think that's a good list for now. We can always add more later too, of course. It's always a work in progress. The perfect garden. Maybe this year. I do hope that our sunflowers do well this year. That would be lovely. Well, my dear, you just sit and you rest. You know, I did just finish making some muffins. If you'd like, I could go grab some of those for you from the kitchen. Some lavender tea and some lovely chocolate chip muffins. That sounds like a delightful evening after being caught in the rain. Alright, well, you enjoy that tea. I'll be back with those. We'll get you warmed up and comfy